Hello, my name is Blair. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today we're doing my February wrap up, which isn't many books. It's like 6 books, 7 if you include what I'm currently reading, and definitely could have finished before the end of Feb, just didn't. So, I've had quite a bad reading month. 6 is nothing. But I have a theory that because Feb is the end of winter, I feel really low at the end of winter, and that means that I'm not really doing many things, including reading. So, apologies that I haven't read a load for you to sit and listen to me talk about, but the ones I have will make fun, as we do. So let's get on with it. Starting off with Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This was a 4-star read for me, so starting off really strong. This follows an orc called Viv. I believe her name is Viv. I can't remember. We're following an orc who used to have a really adventurous life, I think as some sort of like mercenary or bounty sort of thing. You know, fantasy, you know. And then she got tired of that and decided to just open up a coffee shop and start from scratch. And it's a really fun journey to read about. And there's a prequel coming out, I believe. I think it's a prequel because there's a second book coming out, but I think it's her life before the cozy coffee shop, because this has really cozy vibes. Really cozy vibes. So I am interested to see like what they do, like what the author does, because the fan base for this book is very much into that cozy fantasy, high fantasy, low stakes. So if we're doing a prequel, are you going to get the same fan base? Because it's obviously from like when things were more higher stakes. I don't know why I've gone into this, but this was a great read. I think it's because I'm interested to see what other people think about that situation. Like, if it isn't cozy vibes, will you read the next book? Because how can you do a prequel to her life when it, I don't know. What I'm saying is this fantasy book has a different kind of fantasy reader. I don't know why I was like smashing that. I know what I mean. So at least someone does, right? Let's move on. But this was very good. I recommend it. Next one, Crudo by Olivia Laing. This was lit thick, following a woman called Kathy in her 40s, just struggling with like, I think it was like 2018 vibes or 2017 vibes. There was a lot of shit going on in the world, and you're following her and her journey. The standard litfic, struggling woman. It was okay. This was part of my reading my worst rated books, I believe. But I think I gave it a 3 or a 3.5. I can't remember, but I think it was my favourite one out of those picks. Would I recommend this? I'm not sure. It's like one of those ones that if you see it secondhand or like in a free little library, get it. But don't pay full price for this. I've just realised that I don't even have a cup of tea. I have to go do that before I can continue with this video. I thought something was off. I really felt like something was going wrong. We've found out what it is. Outfit check. Next one is one, if you've been watching me, you know I hate it. I'm getting rid of it. It was in my unhaul. And it's Dead Fathers Club by Matt Haig. Unfortunately, I read that in February and it sucked. The ending was atrocious. I'm not even going to talk about that one any longer. I've talked about it enough on this channel. It sucks. It was definitely the weakest Matt Haig book I've ever read. But I also believe it was his first, so I can't be too... Next one is The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey... I'm going to really try and get this name right. Eugenides? This was okay. I didn't like rant and rave about it like some people do. I can't even remember what I gave it. 3 stars? Maybe a 3.5 at a push, but from memory I think it's a 3. I started tabbing this, like I got 2 tabs in, and then it just wasn't tab worthy. It's just weird. Like, why was everyone so obsessed with these girls? It was just... I haven't thought about this book since I read it, and it's very forgettable for me. So I can't even really describe the vibe of it. It follows, like, these girls that all, like, commit suicide. And it follows people's perspective of them. But these people are, like, unnaturally obsessed with these girls that are all underage, by the way. I just didn't vibe with this. I'm not that girl, obviously. So, ta-da! I mean, it's remaining on my shelf, and it's a really beautiful cover. I love the cover. But I just don't believe the hype with that one, I'm afraid. Disclaimer for the next one, I obviously do not support TERF values. I'm a gender fluid queer person. Now that's done, I reread Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's the first time I've read it in years because of all that nonsense. But I'm finally at a place where I'm absolutely loving it and enjoying it again. And it was just so wonderful to read, and I had such a good time. And it really makes me think, wow, the movies just took over my memories of this franchise because I didn't read it for so long, and visionary movies have stuck more. Because it's like a whole different universe, it's a whole different experience. Like, Ron is actually likeable and awesome, unlike what they did to him in the movies. I had a great time, and I can't wait to read The Goblet of Fire this month, which I will be doing a reading vlog with. But I'm really scared. Like, let's be real for a second. We shouldn't be in a place where people get anxiety about posting about Harry Potter, which, simple reminder, is a children's book. Because we're all at our own journeys with how we feel about that. And I hate that people are now bullied for like that sort of stuff, or accused of being a TERF or anti-trans. I'm gender fluid. I'm obviously not anti-trans. Gender fluidity comes under the trans umbrella. So I don't want to feel like that, and I don't think anyone else should feel like that either. Otherwise, we're not allowed to enjoy anything. Disney is off the cards. Apple is off the cards. Fucking Androids are probably off the cards. YouTube is off the cards. Twitter is off the... Everyone is complaining on Twitter, but Twitter is also owned by a billionaire person with anti-trans views. Where is the line, and why is it Harry Potter? I probably shouldn't even be speaking like this, but it really bothers me that people have started acting like the right. If you're silencing people because they're reading a book or playing a game, if you're bullying them, silencing them, taking them off the streaming sites because you've made them cry because they're playing Hogwarts Legacy, take a look in the mirror and think about if you're any better than the people that you're arguing against. As a gender fluid person, I know what it's like to be silenced. So why would I then do that to someone else, even if you think it's for the greater good? Is it really? Anyway, I'll probably end up not putting this in or something because it's a controversial topic. But I don't think that my enjoyment or my voice should be silenced because I enjoy reading my childhood favourite book. Something to think about. Moving on. And last, but certainly not least, is A Series of Unfortunate Events, A Bad Beginning by ENheee Snicket. Love it. This was, oh, by the way, 5 stars. Prisoner of Azkaban is my favourite. You know what I am. Queer. ENheee Snicket, The Bad Beginning, 4 star, I think I gave it. Yeah. This reminds me of my childhood as well. I had such a fun time reading this. I love how ENheee Snicket puts in word descriptors, but then describes to, like, obviously the children that are meant to be reading it, like, what it means. So they'll take, like, a simple word and then put in, like, the more advanced word, but they'll put it in a way that they'll explain it. I don't know what I'm saying. When I was reading this, I just thought, wow, this is brilliant for a child's vocabulary. I had a great time. If you don't know what this is, this follows 3 orphans, the Baudelaire children, and their tragic life. Like, their absolute tragic life. It doesn't get better. It's not a happy story. It's sad. But it's great. And I can't remember how many there are in the series, but I do want to get through them all. But I'm only picking them up when I see them in charity shops. So I have no control over when I'll be reading them. But they're usually always in there, so I'll keep an eye out. And we'll end with the book I'm currently reading, which is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. I've got this great edition. I love this edition. And I've only got, like, that far through, but I have tabbed that quite consistently. This is one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life. So I read it when I was younger, but I was way too young to get it, right? Reading it now, after my experiences as an adult, and especially my experiences with psychedelics, wow. This is real. This follows a guy who's a doctor of journalism going to Vegas, but you don't really need to know what the plot is about because it's so out of pocket. The whole thing is just so out of pocket. It's crazy. There's not one moment when you're not reading a line going, but I love it. So this is classed as a modern classic. In my video yesterday, I said, like, oh, what is a modern? I prefer a modern classic. And then I couldn't think of an example. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a modern classic. And I recommend it 100%. If you've ever had any sort of experiences with, psychedelics or drugs in general, really funny read. Yeah, I'm over that now. Look at me sharing my personal life. Been there, done that. But I think that's why it's so fun to read, because it's like looking at your past in a crazy way. I'm not like promoting the behaviours that go into this book, but it is funny and quite satirical. I just love books like this. I love books like this. No apologies. No apologies. Probably why I got so passionate about the Harry Potter thing then. Anyway, that was my February wrap up. It was very brief, but so is February. February is brief, February sucks, I hate it, it's miserable. I can't wait for spring, summer. Can't wait to not have to wear a heavy coat anymore. So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment, or whatever. It really helps me out. Well, it will help me out. I don't know. Trying to get in the algorithm, I guess. So these are all of them. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Again, thank you for watching. Catch me in my next one. That was bye, by the way.